It's December 1st, which means it's time to break out the Christmas books. Although, when I realized that I had no Christmas books, I had to go to the store. So I made a bit of a list and then headed off to the bookstore. But it was a bit of a toss-up because it was the used bookstore, the thrift shop. So I wasn't sure if I was going to find anything. And so I actually ended up getting lucky because I found this box set. Beautiful 1996, I believe, box set. 5 volumes, Christmas stories and songs, and it had 3 out of the 5 things I was looking for. Or sorry, it had 3 out of the things I was looking for. And there's 5 things in here. Something like that. Anyways, this is a great find. I got it for like 14, 15 bucks. And it has all the classics, all the Christmas classics. It has the Nutcracker and the Golden Pot by E.T.A. Hoffman. Let's get it out of the box here. There you go. Bam. And then it's also got a couple of Dickens books. We've got Cricket on the Hearth and other Christmas stories. Very nice. And then we also have, of course, A Christmas Carol. All of these covers are super gorgeous, by the way. Very slick. And then the last 2 were not ones I was looking for, but I'm still excited to read them. We got O. Henry, The Gift of the Magi, and other short stories too, don't forget. And then lastly we got just a bunch of Christmas carols, edited by Shane Weller. Who's Shane Weller? Couldn't tell you, but she edited this book, and I'm excited to read it. So yeah, I'll touch back, base, once I'm done reading them, and I'll give you the update. See you then. So I just finished reading one of the books in the compilation or the box set. This one being The Cricket on the Hearth by Charles Dickens, and it has a couple other stories in here as well, that being The Holly Tree as well as The Haunted House. Those 2 are a bit shorter, also by Dickens. They were alright. I just want to talk about the title story, because that was sort of like the feature short story in the book, and it was interesting. I know it took me a while to get into it. For the first like 10-15 pages, I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, "Yeah, this is all right." And then started getting more into it. For sure, the premise is that there's this family, wife, husband, 2 kids. They got a baby and a toddler, and a dog as well. Don't forget about Boxer. And they live just a very normal, average life. The husband delivers mail, and the wife's a stay-at-home mom, and they're generally happy. And then they go to see, the guy's delivering mail, he sees like this old guy who's traveling, and he's super deaf, so he brings him home and gives him a place to stay, and then they go over to their friend's house, and while they're staying there, the father or the husband looks through the window into another room, and his wife is in there with the old man, and the old man is not an old man. He's a young guy, had a disguise on, and he instantly just falls into like this terrible, sorrowful depression, and he is like, "Oh, she's cheating on me," and he like catastrophizes the entire situation without really knowing what's actually going on. Yeah, so I guess I'll spoil the book for you if you're not gonna read it. If you are, probably skip ahead in the video. But yeah, so it turns out that the young guy is actually end up marrying this other girl in the story. I totally butchered the plot, but hey. and so it ends up that his wife is not cheating on him, and so he just about gave up the entire beautiful family he had. His hearth and home, he almost blew it all up because he made this assumption, but it turns out she was just sort of in on the ploy to help get this guy to surprise the girl that they're getting married. So turns out she was not cheating on him, and now they get back together, and the story kind of ends on this happy note where everyone's dancing in the living room to a song, and it kind of just like, the whole point of the story is just to show sort of how beautiful just simple family life is, and hanging out in the house just with your friends and family. And yeah, so I think it's a good short story because it has good ideals and sort of role models, right? Like Charles Dickens is sort of promoting this idea of just like a happy, simple life with your family, and I think that's awesome. So I just finished reading the Nutcracker and the Golden Pot, as well as the Christmas Carol, or A Christmas Carol, and I don't have that book with me because I lent it to my cousin to read, but I'll talk briefly about both of them. So the Nutcracker and the Golden Pot. The Golden Pot came first in this, even though it's second in the title. Kind of weird. I don't know why they did that. I guess maybe the Nutcracker is the more famous work, but they put it second. It's odd. But yeah, the Golden Pot. I don't know. Like, neither of these short stories were my favorite, honestly. The Golden Pot. Some guy starts getting like schizophrenia symptoms, and then falls in love with a snake. That's like in his imagination, and then this girl who's a human falls in love with the dude who has schizophrenia, and then she tries to do witchcraft to make him like her, and then it kind of backfires. I don't know, it's weird. And then the Nutcracker is pretty simple plot. Like, you have this doll that a kid gets for Christmas, and then turns out it's alive. Whoa, never heard that one before. And then apparently the doll used to be this prince, and he has to kill a mouse with 7 heads. And then he does, and then takes this girl to like this fairy tale land that's like inside a jacket. I don't know. It wasn't really my favorite book, or neither of the neither of the stories were my favorite. They're just kind of weird. However, A Christmas Carol I really liked. Now, I feel like everyone sort of knows the plot. You maybe seen like a film adaptation in school when you were a kid. Just to summarize, there's a miser named Ebenezer Scrooge, and he's kind of cold and doesn't really enjoy life, or he's not really happy. He's just kind of a businessman, and he has that famous thing he says, "Bah humbug," where he's just like, like dismissive of all people who are jovial and convivial, and yeah, and then he gets visited by the dead ghost of his business partner, and it kind of sets him on this journey of self-discovery through dreams, or visitations by spirits, I should say, the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. And then he turns his life around and starts appreciating happiness, and sort of gets the meaning of Christmas, which I guess is sort of like a secularized version. It's not like baby Jesus, it's more like sharing joy, which is still better than consumerism, so thanks Dickens. But yeah, Christmas Carol, very good. And it was a short enough read that you can still get it done, honestly. I mean, I'm recording this on the 22nd. You could easily read it in an hour. I don't know, hour and a half if you're a bit slower. Not slower in the head, slower reader. But yeah, I'm almost finished the O. Henry short stories. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that. See ya. So I just finished the last book in the box set, which is O. Henry's Gift of the Magi and Other Short Stories. I think I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, obviously some of the short stories were better than others. Some of them didn't really click with me, but some of them were really good. Like, I really liked the first one, Gift of the Magi. Obviously being the title book, I expected it to be good. The Cop and the Anthem was pretty good as well. I really liked The Green Door. And then there's another one there, The Ransom of Red Chief was pretty funny as well. So yeah, I definitely would recommend O. Henry if you have time to read a couple of them. And I'm interested in reading more of him. And I actually picked up his complete works today. But that's a little bit of a spoiler for one of the future videos, so stay tuned. Anyway, yeah, the Christmas box set, big hit. Definitely worth the $15. I didn't read through the 5th book, which wasn't really a book, it was just like the Christmas carols. But definitely good to have on the shelf as a reference. You know, yeah, so Merry Christmas. Hope you spend lots of fun time with your family, and just challenge you to remember the true meaning, which is, you know, Christ came into the world, and that was the beginning of the whole story. So, Merry Christmas.